ULLA, Wakala, all the way.
What's up, guys? This is Donnie with Wakala FCA, here with our Thursday tailgate with the voice of the War Eagles, Mr.
sir.
Chris Savory. Chris, dude, all right, so first off, let's get on this game at Santa Fe. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, man, but I did talk to the campus coach, Travis Cronin. He said, man, he told me a few things, but, man, take it. Tell me what's up.
Yeah, listen, we're 4-0 on the season now, Donnie. We go over to Santa Fe about 2.5 hours away. It's in Alachua County, right off of 441. And, we expected this to be a really tough game, and it was a tough game to an extent, but our War Eagles went over there and showed out. This year, leading up to this game, we've gone into every single game tied up at halftime. We were really waiting and looking for that game that the War Eagles would take charge early and really show out in the first half and go into halftime with a big lead, and that's what we were able to do. We went into halftime. I believe we were up 21-3 at the half, and it was all War Eagles all game long. Santa Fe's a really tough team. They played another team in our district who we've yet to play. We'll play later on this year, actually in a couple weeks, Swanee, and they lost to Swanee, but lost on a last-second play. So we know Santa Fe is a good, tough football team, but the War Eagles were just way too much for them. We end up winning 35-14 in the first half, 21-3. Jalen Warsham doing his thing as always. He passed a touchdown pass to, I believe it was Jakari Irvin there in the first quarter, a 21-yard touchdown pass. That was followed up. We had Jordan Bolden is our starting running back. He was out this week, injured. He was dressed out, and he could have gone, like Coach Clee said in our postgame show, he could have gone in an emergency, but stepping in his place was Brendan Wilson, number 3. And this is a young man. I believe he's just a sophomore, and we've seen flashes of him this year in the later stages of the game when it's time to get some other people to play. This time he got a full game under his belt, and man, did he show up. Dude got two rushing touchdowns, was running the rock all night long and looked so good. His father, Bryson Wilson, is the all-time leading rusher at Wakulla, and if Brendan keeps up this pace, he's going to give his dad a run for his money. He looks so good, Donnie. He looks so good out there.
Now, I haven't been able to see him yet. Who's he running like? There's all kinds of running backs you can sort of go off.
Looks like his dad. He looks like his dad. He's a taller kid. He doesn't have too much muscle on him yet, but that's going to come. But he looks very smooth, very comfortable to be a sophomore. And to run like that and to look so comfortable running the ball is something really special. You can tell the kid's going to be one heck of an athlete. He already is, but I look at Jordan Bolden, who's our senior running back now. In 10th grade when he first started, sort of like Brendan Wilson, would come in the late stages of the game. Sort of like a dagger back. I call him a dagger back, a change of pace. When the other team is super tired, we throw in these fresh legs who can run just as good as the starter. Jordan Bolden was sort of like what Brendan Wilson does now, and Jordan Bolden has turned out to be unbelievable. Well, Wilson, I can only see the same trajectory. It was very impressive to watch him run the ball so comfortably. Didn't make that many mistakes, if any, at all. But just looked really good. Got 2 rushing touchdowns on the night. That offensive line really opening up some holes. I want to point out one of our offensive linemen, Wilson Bruce, plays center. And I know I've mentioned his name a couple times on here, but in this game, he really had a heck of a game. He had a guy lined up across from him that I'll just say was playing probably on the fringes of I'm not going to use the word dirty, but was just doing some things that was really trying to get under Wilson Bruce's skin. But Wilson, just played phenomenally. He put the guy on skates. Wilson got flagged a couple times for being downfield illegally on a pass play, but you review the tape, and I remember seeing, and I look at it live. He's just putting his guys on skates. And when I say that, what I mean by that is he's carrying his block out, and he's pushing his guy 10 yards downfield. He's got him constantly backpedaling. That's just good offensive line play. And he got a couple flags for being downfield illegally on pass plays, but if you look at it and you really pay attention to it and you understand what you're seeing, he's just dominating the guy in front of him, and he did it all night. And I really wanted to make sure I pointed him out because he had a phenomenal game going against a guy that was really, really trying to get to him, trying to get him to maybe lose his cool. But Wilson is a guy that's is kind of quiet. Or at least laid back, but you get him on that field and you put those pads on him, you put that helmet on him, and you get him in the game time. That's a tough joker, and he showed out on the offensive line. The whole offensive line did great all night, but Wilson Bruce really stuck out to me. As far as the rest of the offense, Jakari Irvin getting in the mix on things. Jalen Worsham once again, had a great game. He made a couple of mistakes. Fumbled the ball twice, I believe, trying to make something happen. Those things are going to happen. They didn't really hurt us. I know Coach Cleves wants to get that tightened up, but nothing really hurt us at all. Listen, Jalen Worsham is a special athlete. I know I say it on here every single show, but we are lucky to have a quarterback. He can do it all. He can run it. He can pass it. His passes are on point. He's just a special athlete that really anchors that offense, and he's like a general out there. He knows exactly what to do and when to do it, and you can tell the guys really look up to him and follow him. So our offense clicking in the first half. We had a big lead, 21-3. We're on the road. You couldn't ask for nothing more. In the second half, we just turned on the gas a little bit more, extended that lead to 35. To 3. I think they scored, Santa Fe did, on a 99-yard punt return, which you hate to see the other team score, but you can't do nothing but give that guy props. He caught it on his 1-yard line and then just took off, and he was like a lightning bolt. It was just a great TD by Santa Fe, but that was their only score of the night. Defensively, wow. What more can you say about this defense other than they show up every single week? Kyan Gross is phenomenal. Andrew Carter getting it done. Keyshawn Green is in the past 2 games has really stepped up. And then you look at Desmond Green. Desmond Green, number 6, playing in our secondary, got 2 interceptions. Got to put on the turnover belt on the sideline. That's such a cool thing. And he I believe was the MVP of the game on Max Preps, and Desmond Green is a special athlete. The kid is he's phenomenal, man, and he's an athlete that you can put anywhere, plug in anywhere, and he's gonna make a difference. And he did it with 2 interceptions. The defense is just this year through 4 games it's been phenomenal. The most points we've given up is 14 points. We gave up 10 points this time. Not even that. If you look at it, it was the special teams that gave up a touchdown. So if you really look at it, it was really 3 points that the defense gave up. They're just playing out of their minds, man.
Well, the last game I went to, another person I don't think gets recognized enough is Linville.
Yes.
I know he plays soccer, and I've seen him come up with it, and his dad, Chad and everything. But man, he's actually got on there, and I saw him boot a couple, and I was like, man, he's kicking that thing, and his extra points and everything. I'm really impressed with him.
Yeah, and Linville, he's so young, and he comes on. You can never put enough value on a good high school field goal kicker, and he does so good. I think he's missed 1 extra point this year. We got the boot. Is our other kicker.
Yep.
He does some kickoffs from time to time, and they share duties really well. But Chase Linville, really special on special teams. We're very lucky to have him. So this was just a dominating effort all around. And I told you that we got a good team, and I always thought we had a good team. But Donnie, I'll be honest with you when I say it, after this game, I was just kind of thinking to myself, for the first time this year, and it's rare that I do it, but for the first time this year, I was thinking to myself, it's not that we just got a good team. We've got a really good team this year, man. This was the game that did it for me, to where I just thought, I'm like, we're more than just good. We're really good. We're really special. I've got a lot of high hopes, and I'll go ahead and say expectations for the team this year. man, they continue to impress. They continue to improve, and that's what you want to see each week. Even when you're winning, you still want to see improvement. And I and the coaches, and Coach Cleese has hit on this, you continue to see improvement. That's what you want to see week to week. Winning or not, you want to look for improvements, and this team continues to improve. And it could be scary where they could be at by the end of this year.
So if you had to, let's put you, and I hate putting somebody in another person's shoes, but if you were the coach, like, what do you think he's looking at, right? What improvements do you think makes this team go from this to like this?
Yeah, well, first off, special teams continues to improve. We started off at the beginning of the year making a lot of mistakes on special teams. You're starting to see those mistakes get locked up. We still have some lapses from time to time. Coach Gavin is on top of that. Coach Gavin, Aubrey Gavin, is one of the best coaches we got on the staff, and he continues to get that special teams improved, and that continues to improve week to week. Defense, man, we're just playing so good. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
The coaches are always going to tell you, but I guess if anything,
what about our penalties? Let me ask you that.
That's what I was going to hit.
Okay,
That's what I was going to get to. Is I think the thing that we'd probably, if there's something to improve on the most, it's probably penalties. Now, a lot of this last game, if anybody listened on the radio, I was really hard on the refs, and I don't like to do that, but there were some calls that were made that I felt were just egregious. So we're gonna we got a lot of penalties this last game, and you're gonna face penalties. That's just part of football. But yeah, if there's a place to really improve on, it's some of the penalties, and I guess some of the unnecessary turnovers. Not that turnovers are ever necessary, but preventable turnovers. Maybe when we're running the ball, make sure we tuck it a little bit more. We had a couple fumbles from Jalen. And I'm not pointing him out specifically, but it's just what comes to mind when he's trying to make a move, and he's so good at cutting that sometimes he might forget to tuck that ball, and that ball can easily get swatted out. But I know Coach Cleese has talked to him about that, and he really, by the end of the game, you could tell every time he was running, he's tucking that ball. So I guess the thing to improve on the most that would really take us to that next level is just the little basic things, because as a unit, we're playing so good right now. And I realize all that could change. We might be on here next week saying, oh man, there's going to be that game where you just come out flat. It's going to happen. That happens to the best of teams. That happens to your Clemsons, your Alabamas, your New England Patriots. It happens. It's just whether, even when you do come out flat, can you still do enough to win? And I think this team has that. But yeah, so the defense is playing phenomenally. Offense, just continue to dominate on the line of scrimmage like they've been doing. On the line of scrimmage like they've been doing, everybody hitting their assignments. There's a couple. Worsham is putting some great balls in the air. And for the most part, we're catching everything, but there's some drops. Again, that's going to happen. It's a tough question to answer. I know I'm rambling here. It's a tough question to answer because we're playing so good right now. But if there's something that takes you from super good to awesome, it's just the little things, doing the little things right all the time.
And maybe the games.
Yeah.
Going through the games and just growing every game.
And that's what you look
getting
for.
together and getting stronger as a team.
That's right.
And you know what? And I would say if I was talking about improvements, I would say big time the offensive line.
Yeah.
We talked about it, I know we talk about them sometimes, but from the first show to now, the progression they've made, if they keep going like they're going, by the time we get to where the stuff starts counting, right?
Yeah.
It could be, you already put the athletes that we have.
Yeah.
And then you get them blocking and making them holes, it's going to be a complete game changer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the progress that I've seen so far has been awesome.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
I've been very happy so far.
All right, so my next question, Gaston County, what do you know, what do you expect about that team? Not so much our team, because we know what we expect on our team, right? Yeah. For a show. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm getting to the point now, I hated missing this last game. Because I'm excited, I'm juiced up. I can't be juiced up about the Seminoles right now. Anyway.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
But what I'm saying, though, they're just playing to where if you're going to miss an exciting moment if you don't come to a Wakulla High School football game. And so on that note, Gaston County.
Yeah, Gaston County. What I do know is they're well coached. Corey Fuller's their coach. Used to coach at Godby. They're well coached. Going to be fast, super athletic. They're going to bring everything they got to us. I don't know I can't remember what the record is right now. They may have won a game and lost 2 or something like that. Or they may be 2-2. I can't remember off the top of my head, Donnie, what the record is. But they're going to be they're well coached. I know that, and they're going to come in. They're going to give us they match up. They'll match up well with us athletically, but skills wise, there's a difference between athleticism and skills wise. Skills wise, I think we'll overmatch them with our skill set. And I think as far as the trenches go, I think we're going to have them. They may have us on some size. A lot of teams will beat us size-wise, but as far as fundamentals,
that's funny too.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just stop you for a second.
Yeah.
The Mosley game. I remember, and I think I talked about it with the campus coach Travis Cronin and Ryan Pate, and we were talking about it. Seriously, man, I was standing. I'm 6'3" every bit of it.
You talk about Andrew Carter?
I don't know who I'm going to talk about. I'm talking about the entire line of Mosley. I'm standing at the fence, and I'm looking at these dudes in my eyes, and I'm like, that's huge. And now I don't know if my numbers will be correct, but I heard that they average out at 300 pounds.
Yeah, Mosley did. And Andrew Carter was going against a guy that was 6'7", 325 pounds, and Andrew Carter, 75 for us, stands about 6 foot, maybe 220.
And that's
dominated.
Yes,
him.
that's what
dominated
and that's
him
where I
all
was
night.
switching to go.
Dominated
It's like
him.
every time we go up, it's really like the David and Goliath when it comes to offensive line.
Yeah.
And it's and so that just goes back to their credit. So
but back to the Gadsden, they're going to come in. They're going to be well coached. They're going to be super fast. I think we match up with them speed wise. Our skill set, our discipline, and our fundamentals is what's going to take it out on top. I expect to have a big game. I'll be honest with you, Donnie. I expect that to be a big game for Wakulla, and I'm looking forward to it. We're home for 4 games in a row now. We got a 4-game homestand, so we'll have that home crowd. We always play so well in front of our home crowd. It's really hard to beat us at home. And you know what? Shout out to our fans. I called the game from the stands this past Friday because there wasn't a spot for me in the booth, and we travel so well. There was as many people on the visitor side, our side, as there was on the home side, and we do that all the time. So our fans, y'all are phenomenal. And Coach Cleese talks about it all the time, and it really helps our kids. So make sure y'all come out Friday night too and pack the house.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's where we're at with that. I do want to recognize a couple things. We're going to talk the RMS Bears football.
Yeah.
They're away next Tuesday, the 24th, against West Gadsden.
Yep.
And I tell you, I went out and watched a little bit of the Bears, and man, they're well coached. Man, they get out there and get it.
Yeah.
And they really
do.
And I'm very impressed with the size. And I know that's crazy because we're just talking about how the David and Goliath with the offense, but the size of our kids coming up is pretty remarkable. And
it's really that's the feeding pool that comes up. All these kids you see in middle school, they're going to be War Eagles one day. So every success you see at the middle school level by RMS or WMS, those kids are all going to come together and play in our high school, and it's a good feeder pond, and you want to see them do good.
The coaching coming up is really good. And the Wakulla Middle School Wildcat football, they play next Tuesday, the 24th. In Cairo at 5.
Yep.
And again, same thing with them. They're well coached. I'm going to tell you, both teams, the Bears and the Wildcats, they go at it. And I'm going to definitely put this in there right now. I will have the date for you. I don't know when it is, but I hope that we absolutely pack the stadium for the RMS and Wakulla Middle School team this year, game this year.
That's right.
That's going to be impressive to watch. I think it's going to be, go right at each other. Let's see. As of anything else, I wanted to talk just real quick, Chris, about Wakulla FCA. We got to see you at the pole the 25th. It's at 7 o'clock. So if you're at the school, the kids at the school, man, they're going to 7 o'clock to the flagpole just to pray over our country, our schools, and our other students and stuff like that. And then October 9th, this is another one I'm going to be pushing a little bit. It's Fields of Faith. And it's something that we're going to do this year. I know we've done it in the past, Chris. I don't know if we've done it the last 2 years, but it's at 7 o'clock on October 9th, it's a Wednesday. And it's going to be led by our students from Wakulla High, which is going to be impressive. I've got one last thing to say, but I'm gonna let you. Got anything you?
Yeah,
want?
one last thing before, because we're going to lose daylight here pretty soon. But the one last thing I want to say, Donnie, before you say a prayer for Felipe Franks. He got hurt this past Saturday. It's a former War Eagle standout. The young man got a bad injury. He's going to be out for the year for the Gators. That kid is phenomenal, athletically and personally. I know him and his family personally. A lot of people around here do. Say a prayer for that young man. He is one heck of an athlete and one heck of a teammate. Hate to see that for him, but he needs some love, and he deserves some love from us here in Wakulla.
Absolutely, because there's a lot of negative out there, and if we can show him and shower him with love, man, that's just going to be a big thing. All right, anything else?
That's it, man.
All right, so I'm going to close out today with something that's on my heart. Last week I didn't talk about it much, but September 11th was a big deal. Everybody knows that, and a lot of people hurt from it. And I think that a lot of times we don't recognize enough. I think we do recognize, but I don't think we do it enough, of the military soldiers that leave our schools and go fight for our country and our families. And on this show, before I get off, I wanted to tell you, I walked through, and I'll tell you about this, Chris. I walked through RMS, and they have this wall of all the military soldiers that's left RMS and went into the military. And it was so, and it touched me because, my son Tyler was on that wall, and he just left to go overseas, was deployed about 3 months ago. And I know it's definitely been rough on my family, but I know there's a lot of other families that deal with this all the time. We also had a War Eagle, and I apologize if I don't know any others, but I know for one in particular was Cephas Green. He
Phenomenal athlete.
Exactly. And his brother's Desmond, obviously.
Yeah.
And I want to recognize him. Here's the thing: when these students leave to go into the military to fight for our country, not only are they doing it and for us, but the families that deal with that. And so when I think about September 11th and I think about all those things, these are the things that these kids are going out and willing to do and sacrifice for us. And I'm blessed. I'm just so blessed to have them do what they do. And I just wanted to recognize that, Chris.
Absolutely.
So anyways, appreciate y'all. We thank y'all for tuning in to us, and we'll talk to you next Thursday. Talk to you next Thursday.
Thank you.
W-A-K-U-L-L-A, Wakulla, all the way.